Klock's trial began today, and the first day has concluded. Reporters inside the courtroom observed that the prosecutors appeared unprepared, frequently stumbling over their words, struggling to answer the judge's questions, and failing to present substantial evidence against Klock's lawyer's defense. Toward the end of the day, K. Flock seemed emotional, which is understandable given that this is his first trial. However, his legal team remained confident, whispering reassurances to him that they were going to win. In fact, his lawyers were so sure of their stance that they even shared a message from him in jail.
I know what's going on, man. Flock, I know something, man. Like, me to the guys, man. Hey, yo, like, I'll be back real soon. Shout out to my fans and my supporters, man. I love all y'all, man. For all of you out there, violence, man. For me, and do what y'all supposed to do, man. For me, get through life correctly, bro. Like, get money. Man, I'll see you real soon.
To understand K. Flock's potential release date, it's important to first examine the details of the crime. According to the trial records, on December 23, 2021, rapper K. Flock, officially known as Kevin Perez, was involved in the fatal shooting of Oscar Hernandez. That day, Flock was seen walking down a city sidewalk with two other individuals, dressed in a blue coat, a shiesty mask, and designer jeans. As he passed a barbershop, Oscar Hernandez, who was inside, noticed him. Hernandez then ran out and confronted Flock, yelling, "What are you looking at?" Given their history, the two engaged in a heated argument, shouting back and forth. As the confrontation ended, Hernandez began walking away, but with his back turned, Flock suddenly pulled out a firearm and opened fire, striking Hernandez multiple times as he attempted to run back to the barbershop for help. After firing, Flock quickly fled the scene, leaving Hernandez lying on the sidewalk. Witnesses immediately called 911 in an effort to save his life, and paramedics transported Hernandez to a local New York hospital, where he was later pronounced dead. At the crime scene, only shell casings and Hernandez's slides remained. For 24 hours, the NYPD had no leads, though they collected security footage from the crime. With no immediate suspects, they turned to the public for help, posting an image of the masked individual online and requesting assistance in identifying him. Unfortunately for Flock, just hours before the shooting, he had posted photos of himself wearing the same blue designer jacket seen in the footage. As news of the incident spread, fans quickly made the connection and identified him. Realizing time was running out, Flock hired one of the best lawyers available, met with him, and voluntarily surrendered at the NYPD's 30th precinct. His lawyer later released a statement confirming that he had accompanied Flock as he turned himself in, explaining that arrangements had been made with the NYPD upon learning he was wanted. The legal team immediately began investigating the allegations, stating that they would address bail after reviewing the case and the district attorney's evidence. After receiving all the evidence collected by law enforcement, Flock's lawyer asserted that his client had acted in self-defense.
When the guy hits the ground and is found, he's got a loaded that was in his pocket that his hand was on at the time. We consider that to be self-defense.
So he did take him in self-defense?
That's what the allegation is. I don't want to talk too much about the details of the case,
okay.
But the government claims that he pulled the... But at the same time, the person that was on the ground had his hand on a illegal loaded...
Okay. So without saying too much, you're arguing obviously self-defense.
That could be one of the arguments, self-defense, and I would say to the public, somebody's walking up to you with a loaded, it's pretty clear is going to use it, with a criminal record a mile long. Do you want to get or do you not want to?
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't hesitate to pull it.
Shortly after the NYPD released their statement on the situation, they suggested that the incident stemmed from a long-standing rivalry between street teams, largely due to K. Flock's known affiliation with a Bronx-based crew. Records indicate that Flock had been heavily involved in street-related activities in the past, gaining significant notoriety and influence. With his growing fame in the streets, he held considerable control over situations, but also became a frequent target for retaliation from rivals. This ongoing conflict ultimately damaged his reputation in the rap industry, causing his career to decline rapidly. His best friend later reflected on how this downfall unfolded.
Because I'm sure you see people all the way from rappers to whoever acting like, you know, your boy is just done and he's cooked in this situation.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, people, especially people that don't even be knowing, like, y'all don't even know what's going on, bro. Yeah.
This was around the time when rapper Top 5, also known as K Flock, was sent to jail. Despite his circumstances, he had a message for his fans.
Talk to them, Flock. Talk to them, my dog. Soon come home, man. You got these little boys walking around with no jewels, Flock. They need you. They need you, Flock.
I'm coming, man.
As Clock's lawyers were preparing his defense, he was hit with even more legal trouble. A federal grand jury announced that K Flock had been indicted on multiple racketeering conspiracy charges, also known as RICO charges. Fans online quickly reacted to the news, with many sharing sentiments like, K Flock just caught a RICO. It's over. DJ Academics also reported on the situation, stating, the feds just unsealed an indictment on K Flock for a RICO charge. The mandatory minimum, if he doesn't beat those charges or snitch, is life in prison. On top of the federal case, Flock is still facing state charges that have kept him behind bars. His situation has drawn comparisons to how the feds have handled YNW Melly's case, with Boozy commenting, when the feds want you, they'll do anything to get you.
This even resulted in Bobby reacting to Flock's case.
What's it like for you watching the K Flock thing happen? That's crazy. Next big artist coming out of New York.
I love Flock, so I like that. That's my guy.
Okay.
But you know, I'm wishing him the best right now, you know what I'm saying? And you know, for the alleged charges they pushing on him, you know what I'm saying? I'm wishing his family the best. I'm wishing the whole team the best and everything, you know what I'm saying? And I hope he beat them alleged charges, you know what I'm saying? Because he got a lot of future brightness. He got, and I hope, you know what I'm saying?
That would be a sad story if that's the end of it.
Clock's lawyers quickly responded to the RICO charges, stating that they were not surprised by the federal indictment, as they had been fighting Kevin's state charges for over a year. They argued that the initial incident was a clear act of self-defense, and that while the state charge was already weak, using it as the foundation for a federal penalty charge was extraordinary. According to them, video evidence clearly showed that Kevin was attempting to walk away before being confronted. Only then did he act to defend himself and another individual from an armed associate who appeared to be reaching for a weapon. Meanwhile, the feds have been using every possible tactic to gather evidence against K Flock, including pressuring his co-defendant, Sticky. DJ Academics reported that authorities approached Sticky and asked him to testify against K Flock, to which he responded, "No, I'll see you in 30 years. He later shared an Instagram post featuring himself and K Flock on the street with the caption, "Did stuff in RL together. Guess we got to defend our freedom against these people together. They said tell us about Kevin. Help yourself. 30 years. Is a long time. Well, guess I'll see you in 30 years." This development brings both good and bad news for K Flock. On one hand, his co-defendant remains loyal, refusing to cooperate with authorities. On the other hand, with at least 15 individuals being targeted under the same charges, the chances of someone taking a plea deal and turning against him are high. The situation mirrors that of Lil Durk, where reports initially claimed that people were snitching on him, only for those rumors to later be debunked. In Durk's case, speculation arose when his co-defendant, OTF Vanani, filed for protective custody before a court appearance. However, Durk's best friend Bezu stepped in to calm the situation, urging people not to jump to conclusions.
When they want you, they want you. I knew they wanted them bad when they waited for that law to get passed. So it'd be 8-4.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know, they waited all the way till that law got passed to take him to trial.
Yeah, he was in jail for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah, they could have been took you to trial.
You're right.
They waited till that law got passed and took him to trial a couple months later. When they want you, man. Just don't see how he didn't get a bond after a mystery.
Amid all the ongoing legal battles, we finally heard from K Flock himself. He was seen on FaceTime with friends from the outside, though it remains unclear how he managed to access FaceTime while in jail. The photos from the call show a different side of him, one that appears worried and possibly struggling internally. He no longer carries the same confident demeanor that fans are used to seeing. The call lasted only about 20 seconds, and while the footage cannot be shared due to copyright reasons, the images alone provide a clear glimpse into his current state and how he feels about his case.